Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a crazy one on the bench for you today. It's another BC Rich. This one says Special Edition on the headstock. It looks like a BC Rich Bich. And it's got the spider inlays and it's got this metal web all the way across the front of it. And so we need to shine this thing up today. And hopefully we don't get bitten by any of these spiders on it. We need to restring it, shine it up. Let's get started. Here we go. So BC Rich Bich, there's a lot of different BC Rich guitars out there. It's kind of hard to tell where a lot of them were manufactured. Of course, BC Rich started in Southern California. And then they sold out and they moved the company. Class Axe bought them for a while. Guitars were manufactured in Japan for a short while. And then they moved over to Korea for a while. And ended up, pretty much everywhere. And unfortunately, the company kind of fell into some hard times. But I'll tell you what, man, back in those hair metal days of Motley Crue and all that, this is all those guys wanted to play was these BC Rich guitars. Right, so it's got a tailpiece, a tune-o-matic bridge. I'm going to just set that out of the way for now. And I've got a little spreadsheet here. Neck through construction on this guitar. And a nice black finish on here. No binding. Headstock style is called the Widow headstock. And the neck wood is maple. And ebony fretboard. Large white pearloid spider inlays. 24 jumbo frets, 2.7 millimeter frets. Factory strings, they put 9 through 42s on it. The nut says that it is nut size 43 millimeters. Yeah. And 25.5-inch scale length. And two black BC Rich BDSM humbuckers with volume, three-way toggle and tone, 2 volumes, volume, vob, toggle, tone. Okay, here we go. So let's just clean on this thing for a little bit. And I'm going to use some of this guitar juice that was sent to me just about a week ago or so. Just got my hands on this stuff. Seems like it's working really well. Guitar juice. Alright, so this metal stuff on here, the web, it's coming off like it's kind of hard to clean. But we're going to keep going for it here. We're going to get a little bit more aggressive here with the guitar juice. I have a pretty good size BC Rich collection of guitars. And I had a friend a couple of years ago that was painting them for me. And so we would take a couple like ST3s and we'd make like gunslingers out of them. And it was kind of fun. I still have most of them. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to do a little bit of this Music Nomad F1 oil on the fretboard here. And then if you guys are interested in getting any of these products, the F1 oil or the Ernie Ball Power Peg Pro String Winder, there's you hit that little shop icon and it will take you over where you can buy all these products online and have them delivered straight to your house. Okay, and I make a couple of pennies on everyone that sells. So hit some of those links down there. I have an Amazon link. We've got new t-shirt designs, so I'm very excited for that. Okay, so I have a 10mm wrench that I use up here on the tuners. We're going to go ahead and snug these down. They always seem to come loose. I'm going to say most of the time your tuners are loose. Okay, so while that F1 oil is just kind of laying on there, soaking in, trying to do a little cleaning, let's go ahead and plug it in. And let's see if the electronics are working, so that my cable went into the output jack and it sounded nice and tight. And so let me just grab a little something that I can tap on these pickups with. We're going to turn this volume all the way up. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, I think we got a problem with that. Yep. So we've got a potentiometer that's just spinning round and round. So let's take this back cavity cover off and let's get in here and see if this is something that we can just tighten down. Yeah, if you go back in my videos, a year or two ago I did a whole video about my BC Rich collection. And you guys might find that interesting. And I also did a whole bunch of videos where I, because I had a painter at the time, and he was just an amateur painter, but he did a pretty good job. It's really an art to paint a guitar and have it turn out good. But he was doing a pretty good job. And so we had a whole series of guitars, and I was calling them From Garbage to Glitter, because we put tons of glitter on everything. I'm seeing that this potentiometer is just spinning and spinning, so we have to change this potentiometer out. Well, hold on. Oh, it's just this part of it. Okay. So that's good. I think what I'm going to do now then, because this isn't spinning around, the guitar's working, it's functioning properly, it's just that the plastic piece that sits down in there is spinning around and round. So how do we solve that problem? I'm going to say we solve that problem with a little dab of super glue. So I have some of this ultra gel, and it might be empty, but let me see. See if I can get this to work. I'm going to cut the tip off. There we go. So let's put a little ultra gel in here. Okay. And I'm just going to squeeze it back on here. Whoa. Okay. And I'm just going to hope for the best there. A little bit of this Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel Control, so it doesn't just spew all over the place. It gave me just a little tiny, like, glob of it. So I think we're okay there. So let's go ahead and wipe some of the excess F1 oil off of here. And I'm going to throw on a set of strings. So go ahead and roll the string jingle. Today's string choice. Today's string choice. Ernie Ball, Super Slinky, 9-242, custom gauge, nickel wound guitar strings, made right here in the good old US of A, out of Coachella, California. Did you guys watch any of that Coachella concert? Through YouTube, of course, Green Day's up there making a big fuss out of everything again. But I watched, it was the Go-Go's. I saw some video of the Go-Go's at Coachella, which was kind of nice to see those girls out doing their thing. And yeah, Coachella, it's a big music festival out there. Not sure how happy I am about Bernie Sanders being there. I'm like, okay, what's that all about? But okay, here we go. Nevertheless, let's put this BC Ridge together. Okay, I'm going to put that stop bar back on there. I'm telling you, this was hard to shine up because of, you know, it's not like a really nice, flat, smooth finish on here. This is a piece of metal that has been screwed on here, and so it's not like as shiny as I would hope. You can see little streaks on it. I don't know how much in love I am with this finish on this one, but I'm a hell of a salesman. I do own this guitar, and it is for sale. You guys can call me during my regular business hours, and we can work a deal, and I can ship this thing to you if you want. So just call me anytime. This beautiful BC Ridge can be yours. It's that part of the job that sometimes you're kind of like, oh, whatever. I really enjoy making these videos, and I really love that I have a pretty decent audience that watches them. But when I come off like a used car salesman sometimes trying to flip these guitars, sometimes that kind of gets to you a little bit. I'm not really the high pressure sales guy. Okay, so I've got the strings on it. Just going to stretch on them a little bit here. And we're going to go ahead and put this guitar in standard tuning. There's a lot of times where I put a guitar a half step down, like E-flat tuning, and guys will come into the store and they'll sit down and they'll start playing it. And the first thing they do is they'll strum a chord and then they'll immediately start tuning it up. So it doesn't always make sense to put stuff a half step down when it's sitting here in the shop. Okay, I'm going to do a little intonating here, and I'm going to move this saddle back. Let's see. The little E string is a little out of intonated. Let's see if I can. Okay. Gotta turn it a little ways, and then you'll finally be able to see which direction it's going. There we go. Want that thing to be back. Then we'll tune it back to pitch. So let's go ahead and let's take our notch straight edge and let's take a look at this neck and see if there's any relief in the neck or just exactly how straight this neck is. Oh, there's a lot of relief in that neck, so we're going to have to tighten the truss rod on this thing. We've got a 2020 Les Paul Classic in red. It's the Classic. It's very minty condition. The pickguard is in the case, and it's really nice. Somebody, for some reason, took the pickguard off, but they can easily be put back on. But this guitar is for sale. So again, 2020 Les Paul Classic. Okay, so I'm taking this truss rod cover off, and 5 little tiny screws holding this thing on here. So we can yell and complain, hey, what a great design, or we could be mad at this. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Okay, we'll just let it set right there. Now we got to snug this down. So we got to make sure that this thing is exactly where we want it before we put that truss rod cover back on. Let's see what. Make sure we have exactly the right Allen wrench that goes in here. There we go. We got a good one right there. Okay, this freaking thing, now it's starting to bug me. Okay, let's see. It's not the right size. Okay, so it feels like it's right in the center position. And we want to snug it kind of a lot. So there it goes. It's starting to grip. So the truss rod is functioning. And this says that it's a long scale guitar. 25.5. Is that what the spreadsheet? Yeah. So it is a Fender scale length. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay. That helped a lot. I think we're going to leave it right there. And if we're lucky, we can get this crazy contraption back on. There we go. So it's a little pain in the ass to get this off of here, but I mean, if you want to be as cool as this BC Rich is, you're going to have to put up with this. There's a price to pay when it comes to being as cool as this guitar. But the good news is that the truss rod is working perfectly. And honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen a stripped out or a broken truss rod. It's been a very long time. They usually operate properly. And I also really appreciate when guitar manufacturers put in a dual action truss rod, because sometimes the action is so low you need to take it the other direction and raise the action a little bit. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to get this back plate back on here. I took a little bit of some electronic spray cleaner and I sprayed the potentiometers out a little bit just so they'd be nice and quiet and would operate properly. And these are little tiny screws. They're not really holding and biting too much, but that's back on there. My strap buttons are tightened up. And let's just give it a little tiny spray of some of this to get some of the fingerprints off of it. And I'm going to take this thing up front and we will play it for a minute. Maybe I can get a backing track going. We can play along to a backing track for a minute so you guys can hear what this thing sounds like. So here we go. Let's plug it in. Alright guys, so I got this BC Rich right here. It's all strung up. It looks pretty good with all the light coming in my windows right here. Super awesome looking guitar, right? So let's just give a little listen here. Alright, I have a little backing track. Let's play along with this thing. I hope it sounds good. enough of that. Here we have it. So a BC Rich, and it's ready for resale. If you guys are interested, you can give me a call down here at the shop. Keep in mind, it is May. Well, it's late April 2025. Don't call me in if you watch this video in 6 months or a year from now. I enjoy if you watch the video in 2 years from now. But don't call me in a couple of years, because this thing will be long gone by then. Another really cool guitar down here at ZIMM'S Guitars. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, leave comments, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff for me, and I will see you guys in the next video. My catchphrase, go buy a guitar.